So first of all, again, I want to welcome you to class and to this orientation video that is going to take us into the modules. And I'm going to try and knock this out in about 15 minutes so I can let you get on to the actual class activities. But it's important that we get through and I'm able to sort of show you how where to find everything in the module and kind of give you a walkthrough. So with that being said, once you click into the class, and this is what you come to, you can either click on the module itself, or you can click next and it will take you into the modules. A couple things to note here over on your left, as you see, what you get to see on your page will be the home screen, the announcements, and normally what happens at the very top, right above here, you'll see the latest two announcements. So if there's something that I want you to be aware of, I will make note of it there. You can also click on the announcement link and it'll take you to any announcements that are all sent out to you directly. But if you lose it or accidentally erase it, you can click here and still find the announcement of information that I might have sent out to you. Also, the assignments, all the assignments are laid out in here. So if you click on the assignments page here, you'll see that in here are all the assignments for the class from beginning to end. So all the summaries are here. The due dates are noted. So you'll see when they're available and you'll see when they're due. Basically, throughout this session, I try to keep everything open from beginning till end. You will, however, note that on the discussions, though, I staggered them because I really want to make sure you stay up on pace with where the time that you're at. I may, and I'm contemplating, I may actually open them up for the full time. So I may go back in and change these so they'll all start from the beginning of class all the way till the end, since it's only 6 weeks. But anyhow, this is where you'll find all the information, and it does tell you the due dates, so make sure you know you're aware of them always. Also, the grades are in here. And if you need access to tutoring or information, that's all in here. Starfish is in here for if you have any issues, you need to be able to, if you're struggling or need to make appointments, you can certainly utilize Starfish for that. Okay, so I'm going to go into the modules. That's where everything happens. And I don't know how many of you in this class are familiar with Canvas or familiar with online teaching or online learning, but this is where everything happens. Now, I will tell you from the very beginning, it is important that you recognize that this is the first thing you'll do. You do have to do the attendance check-in. It is absolutely 100% important because this is where you will be able to let me know that you're staying in the class, that you're registered for the class and you're in it. A lot of students, we've had a lot of issues with people scamming and are having fake people in the classes. So it is important that you check the box, let me know you're in the class, and then that way when we do when the college does its census, we'll be able to verify that you are actually in the class. So it is fundamentally important that you take care of that. That below there are my office hours, and this is also important. If you want to make an appointment with me, it's perfectly fine. In the summer and winter sessions, they're not required, but I always try to make time for all my students. If you have any issues or need help with anything, you can simply send me an email, and we can either do it by using Zoom if you prefer, or you can certainly, if you want, use Ring Central. You can call me there or send me a text message or leave me a message there as well. So you have telephone access or you can access me through Zoom. And what happens if you click on it, you'll see in here, there's a link to my Zoom room. And if you click on this little space here, underlined button here, that'll take you right to my Zoom space. And we can jump in and you'll be able to access me there. Okay. If you happen to be in Mexico, you can click here. This is the international line. It should take you to the same location. So please be aware that you can do that as well. Okay. So now let me go back and share with you a couple of more items. First of all, if you notice down here, I've called this week 1.1, and I call it 1.1 because this is the orientation portion of the class. And below there, starting down here, 1.2, the same week, starting in the first week, I want you to get into chapter 1. So it's important that you know that that's what week 1.2 is still the first week. It's just It just starts after we get through the orientation. But you must go through the orientation to get to the first week. You can go down and look at it, but you can't access it till you actually finish going through the orientation. And I do that purposely because unfortunately some people get over overzealous and they want to jump right into the classroom space, but don't want to spend the time to look at the information that I provided that is there to help you navigate the class. So it really is important that you, again, start off with the welcome video, then go to the module video, and then you can kind of walk through things relatively quickly. The structured very common. So I have my to-do list. So it tells you what's due during that first week in the orientation. And if I click on it, I'll share with you quickly here. So the first things you have to do in week one, first is starting off with, of course, the check-in. And then after you do the check-in, you'll do the discussion 0, which is basically like an extra credit, but I don't offer much extra credit, so it's in your interest to do so. And that's the getting to know each other discussion. And it has nothing to do with the book, but it's about basically sharing with each other a little information about yourself so the class gets to know each other. I think that's an important component, even in an online class. And as you know, this class is 100% online. It's asynchronous, which means that you have to work on your own. Now, that may sound like, oh, not a problem. Well, it can be a problem because it takes a lot of discipline when you can basically do things when you want to do them to stay focused and stay on top of things. So it's important that you remember that and make sure that you stick to the script so you can and stay up on the items and don't wait to the last minute. I can't tell you how many times I've seen students burn out or have things blow up in their face at the last minute because they waited to the last minute to turn in things. And I will tell you, you earn the grade you get. I don't give you a grade. You earn the grade you get. So it is your responsibility to get the work done. And I try to make it very reasonable. Like I cut out a lot of stuff that I normally have for the semester so that making it reasonable amount of work that you can accomplish throughout the course of the class for 6 weeks. So I will shoot out a few announcements going, hey, everybody, you need to catch up. But that is your responsibility. So I hope you will take that seriously. And when I'm grading, I look at people who make effort. And when people make effort, I will try to do my best to reward you for the effort you make. So again, after that, there's some information about my bio. If you want to know about me as a professor, you can look there. You see some of my news interviews and things that I've done if you want to know about the person who's teaching you. Then a lot of this stuff in here is really based on just sort of, are you ready for online learning? So if any of you are new to this platform, it'll talk a little bit about that. The time commitment is just sort of a general overview of basically how much time you should be using approximately each week to get prepared. But again, that depends on the individual. Some students are very good at it and can quickly navigate. Some students need a little more time. So you have to know your capabilities and be able to assess that yourself. Participation really is, again, just showing up and getting the work done and being an active participant in the discussions. That's the part that's really important to me. So you want to make sure that you really take your time and make sure the discussions and the participation in the discussions is done at a collegial level and shows your critical thinking skills. Again, this is just general information on getting to know our online classroom space and student support. There's some student resource information here that if you go in here, you click on it, you'll see there's just basically a place to provide for you some of the resources that are available for you as students on campus, okay? All right. Let's see, what else would I like to show you here? Oh, if you're an EOPS student, there is information, I should say, here regarding the EOPS program here at IVC. It is we have an outstanding program with lots of benefits, and if you know you're already an EOPS student, you can click on the link and you'll see a message from Karen Salazar, who's one of our EOPS care counselors. She is an amazing individual and really cares about her students. And if you're not sure, but you're interested in EOPS, you can reach out to EOPS directly and they will provide information, and she has contact information inside of the video that is located in here. So if I click on it quickly here, you'll see, and there she is, and there's a little short video for you to watch. Okay. Again, the contacting me is the same as above, so it's no different in terms of reaching out to me. Office hours are not required for the summer, but again, I said you can reach out to me by email or call me on Ring Central and be able to coordinate if you need me. I will tell you now, I am a big fan of communication. So if there's something going on with you and you can't make something, you need to let me know ASAP. Do not wait to the last minute to provide information. If something's going on, I know you don't know me well yet, but I care a lot about my students and what allows you to either be successful in class or not be successful. So if there's something happening, you need to let me know ASAP. Um, then next is the academic year calendar, and basically this shares with you if there's any events coming up that are pertinent to you. So, for example, if there's a holiday, so we have two in the summer. One starts at the very beginning, which is Juneteenth, which is June 19th, and then we also have July, 4th of July. And so there are two dates that you won't have class. That class doesn't start till the day after the Juneteenth, so we start on the 20th of June. The next one is a little more important, so I'm going to click on that. And this is important because it really kind of goes through and tells you about the dates you have to be aware of. So, for example, late registration date. So, if you June 22nd is the cutoff. So, if you're going to drop the class, you have to drop it by that date. Um, uh, and if you're going to register for I should say, let me back up. If you want to register for the class, you have to register for the class by that date, June 22nd. It is June 27th that you have to drop it. If you drop by June 27th, if you decide you do not want to take the class, you will get a full refund of your fees. So after the 27th of June, then getting your money back is a problem. So just make sure you're aware of the dates. This is something you want to keep close, so you make sure you know where things are. As I said, the orientation module is really a resource tool for you, so please use it in that vein. The next thing is also in here, you'll see, so the deadline to drop for summer session courses completely is July 19th, but then again, after the 27th, you can drop, but you won't get a refund. And then July 27th is the last day of class, the last date of the summer session. So that's pretty much it for that. So I just want to know, just again, this is something you want to kind of know so you know the deadlines and dates. From there, we go into some information regarding discussions, because the discussions are the important part of the class. There is some information here. There's also a video regarding the discussion, how the discussions operate. So those are all available, and you want to take a look at those because they will help you in the class and help you know what my expectation is on the discussions, because I'm very, very tough about the discussions, because I'm really looking to see what kind of quality information you can put together. So that means when you're doing discussions, you have to make sure that you have, like each response should be about a paragraph in length. So as you do the initial response to what I'm asking of you, I will expect for you to next be able to provide more information and detailed information about the topic, and then also be able to respond to three of your classmates on their comment. So whether you agree, disagree, or but I want to see detailed information. Now you have to do at least four of them: your initial response and three to your classmates. But however, and they're worth 40 points. But I will tell you, I've had students get as many as 50 points, which means they're getting up to 10 points of extra credit if they do really good responses. Mean they're writing maybe more than four, maybe they're writing five or six really good paragraphs about the topic that I'm asking. So it depends on you, but it's a good way to maybe protect your grade and make sure you get the points that you want to do well in the class. In the next space, it's our class resources. And here we have, of course, the syllabus is in here and the textbook is in here. So the syllabus, of course, is your basically binding contract with me as your professor. And so you're required to adhere to it. And basically, it provides all the information about the course at the top and a description of the course, what I expect you to learn and the learning objectives. The book, as you know, which is a zero-cost textbook. It's by Dino Bozanellos, and it's called Comparative Government and Politics. Again, it's a zero cost. The book, and you'll see momentarily, is located right inside the module here in the orientation module, so you have direct access to it. Um, And then from there, again, I have a link to my Zoom space if you, again, for reaching out to me if you so choose. Oh, you can also download this. If you want to have a copy for yourself on your computer, you can download the PDF right here, or you can print it out from there as well. I think for most of you, the most important thing is this, which is the grades. And basically, over the 6 weeks, you have to do six chapters we cover, and you have to do 20 or 20 summaries that are worth 20 points each, and then you do 6 discussions that are worth 40 points each for a combined total of 360 points. Now, I've had some students, some really top students that have ended up with more points than that because they did so well on the discussions that they got extra credit on the discussions. So you can get higher than 360 points if you're like the top A+ student by virtue of what you do. Also, we have added this year some information on artificial intelligence and the use of artificial intelligence. Uh, and I think it has great potential. I think it's a great potential thing for students. However, there are ways in which you use it. We do have an AI checker, so don't try to get away with trying to use AI to try to do your papers or do the work because it will blow up in your face. And then it's considered plagiarism. And for those who don't know what plagiarism is, that's when you pass off someone else's or something, some other entity's work as your own work. Uh, but there are ways in which we will begin as a college to utilize this more directly, which I think is pretty exciting in the future. That will still require you to utilize your critical thinking skills. But anyhow, that's the information about AI. Academic honesty, I do expect you to be a person of integrity and I expect you to do things the way you're supposed to do them. As far as netiquette, that simply means don't cyberbully anyone. And even when we do the getting to know each other discussion zero, I do expect for you to respect other people's ideas and opinions and how they live their life, even if it differs from your own. This is really a course that I expect you to learn how to be a little bit open to things that maybe you're not comfortable with. And if we were in my classroom, you'd certainly would get to see that firsthand. Um, Here you'll see below here is basically the class scheduler, and this basically gives you a layout for what's happening each week for the next 6 weeks. And you can see it from the beginning, starting with chapter 1. It lays out what the reading assignments are and assignments for each week. So that's pretty much it for the syllabus. Again, this is your resource, so you can go through it in more detail, but I wanted to give you a little taste of it so you know what's expected of you there. And then below there is the course roadmap, which is basically that last page of the syllabus here. That's basically what you get there, just gives you an outline of the course. Textbook information is just tells you a little bit about what the textbook is about. And then here is the actual textbook. And again, you can you can go here, you can download it, a hard copy of it to your laptop or home computer. I wouldn't try and do it to your cell phone. It's just a little bit tough to do that way. But here you can access it directly on here if you don't have access to any of the like Adobe or any of the PDF readers, but it's all built in here for you as well. Okay, even though most computers have Adobe or some form of PDF reader on them, but just in case, you can access it directly right here. And it's a really good text. And we're not taking all of it, we're taking parts of it because obviously 6 weeks, it's impossible to go through the whole book. And then after that, the last thing in the orientation module is basically the discussion, getting to know each other. And that's where we end. So with that, I will stop at this point, and then I will jump in and give you a quick overview with another video of a brief video on the modules for the class. Okay. All right. See you shortly.